that person, that one gone, that one that's always calling you and telling you that I love you, you are the best thing that's ever happened to me since Jesus left this world and died for our sins, that particular one is the one that's going to betray you. Can you imagine the nonsense? Can you imagine the audacity for this guy to call me and be telling me that it's not too late for him to assist me? Low key, all of them done the notice, ayy, I'm not joking, oh my gosh, them know me. Since 06, I've been writing the story, ayy, I know we all never see me, but they go for me. Hey, she misses money or miss money, whatever. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Nedi Wokoro, and I am a YouTuber based in Lagos, Nigeria. I share my lifestyle, events coordinated by Vima Oshret. Vima Oshret is an ushering and coordination agency. We provide hostesses for all types of events. I also share, tips on self-growth and entrepreneurship. So yeah, look out for that. If you are a returning subscriber, hi there, welcome back to the channel. Okay, and if you're a new viewer, please do well to hit that subscribe button right now. Okay, just hit that subscribe button right now so that you can help grow the ministry. Talking about that, thank you guys so much for 300 subscribers. Like, you have no idea how happy you guys made me. Looking forward to having more of you here. Okay, so please do well to click on the subscribe button, also hit the notification bell so that you can get notified every single time I upload a new video. So guys, today's video is a story time on how my friend and my colleague stopped me from being promoted. The betrayals come from the people that are closest to you guys. Like, the people that are closest to you are the ones that are going to betray you. Just know this and know peace. Do not expect so much from anybody. Nobody owes you anything. I don't know why I'm listing out all the lessons from this story even before telling you guys the story, but this is something that happened to me, and this is something that someone very close to me did to me. Like, it did happen. It's not even clickbait. It actually did happen. The reason why this hurts me was because it was done to me by someone that was really close to me. I was really hurt. Okay, but I've gone past all of that now. Like, I've gone past all of that now. Okay, so let's get right into the story. So I work for an institution, right? A financial institution, and before you once you're hired, before you start working, you go through training. So while we were at training, I met a guy. He was my friend. So let's call this my friend. What do we call him now? Shibuzo. Let's call him Shibuzo. And I used to tease him a lot. I used to tease a lot of guys then, thinking about it now. Anyways, I used to tease a lot of guys, including him. Me teasing him made him to it's made him to grow some sort of likeness towards me. I mean, I got to know that later. He became fond of me, and we sort of became friends. Okay, just platonic friends, nothing attached. While we were at training, okay, or after training actually, he asked me out, and at that point I wasn't really into him, plus the fact that I wasn't in the right state of mind to date anybody. Okay, so he asked me out and I told him no. Like, I wasn't in the mood to date anybody. I mean, looking back now, if he was my spec, maybe I would have been in the mood, or maybe I would have been in the state of mind to date him, but he wasn't my spec and I wasn't in the right state of mind to date at that point in time. So I told him no. 1 year later, he came back again and asked me out, and the answer was still the same thing. It was still no, because I wasn't still in the right state of mind to date anybody. This time around, we got really close. Like, we used to talk a lot. All those, oh, how is your day going, this is what happened at work today, this is so we're just emotionally available for each other, but it wasn't anything deeper than that for me. Maybe it was for him, but it wasn't for me. So that was that is like the background relationship between myself and himself. There was no bad blood, let me state that. Or so I thought there was no bad blood between the both of us. So fast forward to October, November 2020. October, November 2020. The institution that I work for, note that we've been working for the institution now for almost 2 years at this point. So normally each staff is given a target, a deposit target. So you're supposed to bring some certain amount of deposits into the institution. Okay, so everybody had the targets. Now myself, I hadn't met my targets. This my friend had met his. I think he had met his completely, or even if not completely, I think he was almost close to meeting his. No, I think he had already met his, because I checked. So I think he had met his target already, but I hadn't met mine. So at that point, so I was just really asking people, because I knew a couple of people that had met theirs and had even surpassed their targets. So I talked to some of them, and they gave me like a tip on how I was going to be able to get this deposit targets. Okay, so it just involved me searching for certain accounts and all of that. So I did that. Note that while I was searching for these things, my boss had also not met his targets. Okay, and he saw me doing these things, he saw me searching for these things. So he asked me that why am I not, he just noticed that I was very, very busy doing these things. So he asked me that what's going on, and I told him that this is the tip I got to, that if we do it this way, we'll be able to meet our targets and all of that. And my boss was like, okay, oh, please, if you find I'm interested, can you also give me some? I said, no problem, sir. So note that my boss was already involved in all of this. So he was involved in the search that I was doing. He was involved in the whole process. And because of that, some of the work that was coming to me, he volunteered to do them for me so that I could concentrate, and get these accounts. I got these accounts. That's it. I got the accounts after so much search. I got the accounts. So now the thing is, when you get this account, if they're not properly tagged to you, you need to send it to a particular unit to assist with making them to be properly tagged to yourself. So when I got these accounts, I knew someone in that unit, but that guy was very, very busy. We're going to call him, let's call him Samson. Okay, so Samson was a very, very busy guy. Like he was really, really busy. So I'm not even going to fault him in this story. Anything that happens in this story is totally not Samson's fault. Okay, totally not Samson's fault. So Samson was really, really busy. I reached out to him. So he said that he wasn't really responsive, and I could understand that because he had a lot on his plate. Chibuzo was very close friends with Samson. They were really, really close, and the thought came to me one day that I have a friend that is very, very close to Samson. Why don't I go through my friend to Samson? This was what totally ruined me. Okay, it didn't ruin me. Nothing can ruin me. It didn't ruin me, but this was what totally, caused whatever happened, caused all of the series of events that now unfolded. Okay, so I spoke with my friend Chibuzo and told him that, please, I have these accounts, but they are not properly tagged to me. Can you assist? Because I've been trying to reach out to Samson, but Samson is really, really busy and he's not having my time at all. So please, Chibuzo, can you assist, giving these accounts to Samson so Samson can properly tag them to me? And my friend was like, oh, no problem, no problem, you're my G now, you're my person, I would assist you. Chibuzo was in a unit that was close to where Samson's unit was. So Chibuzo was like, okay, on Friday I'm going to help, no, on Thursday I'm going to help you go meet Samson, so that I'll just sit with him, so that he's going to do your work for you properly. And then this Chibuzo also told me that these accounts that you've gotten now, not all of them might be valid. So what will happen is that I'll sit with Samson. When Samson checks through all of the accounts and he picks out the ones that are valid, I would send it to you, and you'd select how you want it shared between yourself and your boss. That was what Chibuzo told me, and I was like, cool, no problem. I even told him that since you're even assisting me with this thing, that I would even give him find some accounts out of it and give it to him, knowing that he was almost he had already met his target. But as a sign of appreciation, I just felt like I needed to actually give him some of these accounts. Okay, so yeah, that was how that went. So Thursday I didn't hear anything from him, and I didn't want to put any pressure because I was already even putting pressure on Samson, and I didn't just want it to, I didn't want to put so much pressure so it doesn't feel like, oh, this girl is always disturbing me, she's just on my neck, she's disturbing me. So I didn't say anything to him on Thursday went. Then Friday also went. I didn't hear anything from them. At that point I was like, okay, when I get home I would call him to know what's up. So Friday on my way home I get a call from him when I was driving home. So when I got the call, it was already late at night. When I got the call, he was like, oh, that he and Samson walked through the account, and they had already tagged a certain account to myself. And I was really happy, to be very honest. I was like, hey, yay, thank you Jesus. That, like, I was really happy. Okay, so I told him thank you. Like, I was really appreciative of what he did for me, because the particular one that he actually gave me surpassed my targets. Okay, so I was like, thank you so much. Like, I was really happy. I was really happy. So I got home and then it dawned on me that wait. I thought this guy told me that guy told me that when they find the accounts that were valid, he was going to send them back to me, so I could pick the one that I wanted to give my boss and the one I wanted for myself. But now that he's saying that he tagged just one account to me, out of all of the accounts he tagged just one to me. So I was like, what's going on? Now imagine the scenario where my boss comes to work on Monday and then he sees that I'd already surpassed my targets, and then he was still on zero. Like, he was literally on zero. I myself was on zero. Now imagine him checking on Monday and he sees that, oh, this girl has surpassed her targets, and he was still on zero. And this was somebody that took a lot of work off me because he knew that I was helping myself and himself out with something that was going to be beneficial to the both of us. So imagine, it was going to look as if I had, gone through his back and did everything, and there was no amount of explanation that was going to tell this man that was going to make him believe that this was what was going on. So the next morning, that was Saturday morning, after having thought about it, I gave my friend Chibuzo a call in the morning. And when I called him, I was like, oh, that thank you so much. Like, I really appreciate what you did for me, but I just wanted to ask that, I sent you so amount of accounts. Like, you told me that when you check for the ones that were valid, you would send it back to me, and that I was going to select the way I wanted it to be shared amongst the people I wanted it to be shared to. That what was going on, that you just told me that you tagged in just one account to me. Is it that the rest of the accounts were not valid or something? And this guy became very defensive. Like, he literally became very defensive. He was like that there were, I think, 13 accounts that were valid, and the sum total of those accounts was not up to the one that was tagged to me. But those accounts were more stable, if you get what I mean. Those other accounts that were not tagged to me were way more stable than the one that was tagged to me. So the one that was tagged to me, if the customer decided to, or if the person decided to, withdraw all of their money, I was not going to be anywhere. Like, I was going to be on zero, back to zero. But those other accounts were more stable. Like, even if, like, the risk was more diversified, even if one person decides to take their money, like, I still had other options. I don't know if this explanation makes sense. One account was tagged to me, a huge amount of money, but it was very huge risk, because if that person decided to take out all of their money, I was going to be back to zero. Now, there were 11 other or 13 other accounts that had different amounts of money, in which if one person decided to take out their money, or if one or two people decided to take out their money, it wasn't really going to affect me. So those ones where the risk was more diversified in those ones. And I told him that, okay, what happened with those ones? And this guy goes that he tagged all of them to himself. And I was like, what do you mean you tagged all of them to yourself, Chibuzo? What do you mean by that? And he was like that, yeah, now that they were, they were smaller amounts, and note that these other smaller amounts also surpassed my target too. So the cumulative amount was surpassed my target. Okay, it's not like they were not up to my target, they surpassed my targets. And this guy had already met his targets even before I met him for this thing. So him now telling me that he tagged all of these things to himself, like, it did not make any sense to me. I just saw selfishness and greed and nothing more. It just made me feel like this guy only helped me for his own personal interest, or maybe he wanted to show me pepe or something. Like, I did not understand why he did that. So I asked him that, guy, I said I was going to give you something, okay, out of all of these accounts. I told you that yes, I was going to give you something, and I also told you that I'm not the only person involved in this thing. I had a friend involved, my boss was involved. So what do you expect me to tell these people, coupled with the fact that even this one that he gave me, the risk is not diversified? Like, if this account decides to take out all of the deposits there, I'll be back to zero. So is this actually a help, or is it, like, I did not understand why he did what he did, but he wasn't even understanding it from my own point. He just made it seem as if, oh, I was very, very ungrateful that he helped me with this thing, and see the way out. And mind you, I was not rude to him in any way. In fact, that call was recorded, and when I explained, because I had to explain to my family, at some point I was running crazy because I did not understand. I thought that maybe there was something that I did wrong, or there was something that I said wrongly, or I was not rude to him in any way. I was very, very appreciative, but he just put me in a fix, because now I have this huge amount in my targets that in any moment could disappear. Then I had people that were looking up to me to assist them with this thing. My boss literally took a lot of work off me because I was going to assist him with this thing. I had a friend too, I didn't mention it earlier, but I also had a friend that was relying on this thing too. And then you told me, Chibuzo, you told me that once these accounts were gotten, and once their validity was checked, you were going to send them back to me so I could, let you know how I wanted this shared. So why did you now not get back to me so that I can say, okay, this is how I want it shared. I want this for myself, I want this for my boss, I want this for my friend, and then you can take this? Why did you just tag just one account to me with a huge risk, and then take all of the risk diversified accounts for yourself, knowing fully well that you had met your targets, knowing fully well that my boss was dependent on this? And this guy took it P. He made it look as if, oh, I was very, very ungrateful. He made it look as if, I don't know, maybe he also spoke to his friends or something, I don't know, but he just made it look as if I was very, very ungrateful, like he did something for me and I was not appreciative. And that was totally not the case. It was totally not the case. What he did was absolutely wrong. I was on this guy's neck. I said, okay, since these things are tagged to yourself, I cannot look at my boss and tell him that this is what happened. He would think I was lying. He would think that maybe I probably took everything for myself and I didn't want to give him anything. I said, okay, you have met your target. It's not like you had not met your target. These people, my boss was on zero, my friend was on zero. So you need to, give concurrence for us to take those accounts from yourself, or take some of those accounts from yourself, and share it between my boss and my friend. And this guy said, over his dead body, we did do that. Hey God, you guys, I begged this guy so much. Like, I literally was begging him day and night, every day. I was begging this guy that, please, I need to share this thing for these people. I also need to diversify my own risk, because it was almost getting to the end of the year. It was almost getting to the end of the year. And as at 31st December, if these things were not properly settled, it was going to mean an issue for me. It was going to affect my appraisals. I kept begging this guy until, it was all through November, almost December, early December. I was still begging this guy, and he said, he wasn't going to give concurrence for this account to be taken away from him. And this guy had, in fact, him having those deposits meant that he had double, as in double of what our target was. So imagine somebody being so selfish, so greedy, so self-centered, that you had almost double of what you were supposed to have, and you knew that there were people that were on zero. You knew that there were people that were on zero, that did not have anything. And you were very, very comfortable with the fact that you had double. You were sitting on it. You were sitting on their targets. You were sitting on their career, sitting on their future. And you did not have any form of conscience. You did not have any form of remorse that what you did was bad. So after so much begging, I had to explain to my boss and explain to my friend that this was what happened. This is it. In fact, in some of the mails that I sent to these guys, I had to even like put my boss in copy so that he would see that I was not even lying to him in any way. I think when it was almost at the end of the year or mid-December, he now decided to give concurrence for the deposits to be retagged to my boss to my boss. So after he gave the concurrence, I kept on sending series and series and series of mail. Note that this was almost ending of December when the whole institution is very, very busy. Samson, his friend that could have helped me, was extremely busy, so he could not even have, done this thing for me. And like it was almost the end of the year, so the chances of it even being resolved, as at the point when he gave this concurrence, the probability of it being resolved was very, very low, very, very low. Anyways, I then I went on leave and I resumed, I think, 3rd week of December. So once I resumed from my leave and I checked my targets, when I checked it, I saw that I was back to zero. I saw that I was back to zero. You guys. So my fear that I had expressed to this guy, the fear that I had expressed to him, that what if this thing actually, or this person that has this account actually moves out the money, I'll be back to zero. That fear actually now happened. And it was almost the end of the year. I had nothing. There was no possible way that I could have gotten my target at that point in time. Note that this was 3rd week. I had, I think, about 5 days more to the end of the year. 5 working days more to the end of the year. There was no way for me to have gotten this thing back. And I was just so sad. I was so sad. I was so depressed. I was like, God, what's happening? At some point, I called this guy. I was like, what did I actually do to you? Is it because I refused to date you? Like, is that what the issue is? Are you trying to pay me? Are you trying to pay me back for not dating you? Like, is it by force? Why are you doing this to me? Because I could not understand why Chibuzo did, even up to today. If you ask me why Chibuzo did what he did to me, I cannot say this is what happened, because I searched my spirit, I searched my soul, and I knew that there was nothing wrong I ever did to this guy. And I knew that if I was in his position, I could never do that kind of thing to anybody. I could never do it to him. Even up to tomorrow, I can never do it to him. I can never do it to anybody. So I searched myself and I was like, what did I even do wrong to this guy? Like, what did I actually do wrong to you? I was even asking him that, what is it? What did I do? Is it because I refused to date you? Is that what this is about? Is this payback or what? And this guy never saw anything wrong in it. And then when it was, I think 29th of December, end of the year was 31st of December, yeah, 29th of December, this guy calls me and he tells me that it's almost the end of the year, and that I should know that it's not too late for him to assist me, that if there's any way. Was it 29th or 30th? I think it was 30th of December. It was 30th of December he called me. A day to the end of the year. This guy calls me and he's like that I should know that it's not too late though. that it's not too late to die. If there's any way he can assist me, I should tell him that there's something that he's praying to God for something and he wants God to answer his prayers. And so that's why he's coming back. Can you imagine the nonsense? Can you imagine the audacity for this guy to call me and be telling me that it's not too late for him to assist me, that he's praying to God for something, he's hoping to God for something, and he wants God to answer his prayers. That's why he's now calling me, because he knows, he has searched his conscience and he knows that what he did to me was wrong. You want God to answer your prayers. That's why you're coming back to me to beg me or to tell me that you can still assist me. I told him to go to hell. I told him that his prayer, that thing that he's hoping God for, he's hoping to God for, all of them, both him, his prayer, all of them can go to hell. That was what I told him. I told him I didn't need his help, because what kind of help do you want to offer to me again? It was already 30th, almost the end of the day. That's when you called me. It was already 30th. Tomorrow was the last day. What help do you want to help me now? What do you want to? What assistance do you want to do to me? So that was how I ended my year. I ended my year in a very, very bad mood. I was very, very sad. I started my new year in a very, very terrible state. I started my new year in a very, very bad note. I was really depressed. I was sad, and I wasn't. God, thinking about it now. Anyways, I'm out of that. So yeah, time for appraisal came. I was appraised, and obviously I didn't make it. And I didn't make it by, I think, 1 or 2 marks. I really can't remember now, but I knew that if I had actually met my target, which I was supposed to, if not for this Chibuzo that was a wizard, I'm going to call him a wizard, that was a bearer of bad luck. If not for him, I would have made those 2 marks that would have given me an A and would have gotten me promoted. And I learned a lot of lessons, guys. I learned a lot of lessons. You are the only one that has your back in this life. If you don't know it now. You are the only one that has your back in this life. Nobody has your back. Okay, maybe your mom or something, your parents, your siblings, but just know that the main person that has your back in this life is you. Do not be dependent on anybody. Don't be dependent on your friend, your friend that's your friend that's your friend said this, your friend don't say this, your friend has your BFF, all of these things. Don't be dependent on that. You're the only one that has your back in this life. So nobody owes you shit. People will betray you. People will betray your closest friends. That person that's always calling you, morning, afternoon night, telling you that I love you, I love you, I love you. That person, that one, gone. That one that's always calling you and telling you that I love you. You are the best thing that's ever happened to me since Jesus left this world and died for our sins. That particular one is the one that's going to betray you. So guys, I've come to the end of this video. Okay, I hope you guys learned a lesson or two. I hope you guys enjoyed the story. If you'd like to see more videos like this, please let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, please. Okay, click on the subscribe button right now, subscribe to the channel, and let the ministry grow. Okay, thank you so much guys for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.